Hello everyone. Today is a very special day. It's the Hilula of Rav Shlomo Carlebachs, Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Livracha, the holy Rav Shlomo. Rav Shlomo, his life was dedicated to Am Yisrael, to bringing people closer to God, closer to the Torah, closer to each other, to bring love and peace between people. Once in a generation, once in several generations sometimes, Shlomo Carlebachs was known as the singing rabbi, the dancing rabbi. He brought to us most of the Jewish music that we have in one way or another, especially in our prayers. He was once asked by a reporter, "How many songs did you write?" He says, "I'm afraid I can't answer, because if I answer truthfully, you'll think that I'm exaggerating and that I'm lying. And if I don't answer right, then I am lying and you'll think that I'm being modest. A day that I only wrote one song, it was a down day. And a lot of them have the same tunes for some of the songs, but each one of them has a completely different spirit, a completely different neshama to it." So Rav Shlomo is known for his music. He's also known for his stories. His stories of others that he would tell, that he'd pass on from generation to generation. Rav Shlomo believed that this is the pillar. These two are the pillars of Judaism, songs and stories, and that we need them so much. During Pesach, one of the holiest days of the year, we don't sit around and learn. We don't sit around and go over the parsha and try to get into the deepest part of the sugya like you would in a yeshiva. We sit around and we tell stories. Because that's the basic. That's what we connect to. That's what our neshama connects to. We connect to stories. Stories that connect us to those who've come before us. Our stories that will be told to our children. Because that's what's remembered of us at the end of the day. That's what we have. We have stories. That's why the mitzvah of Pesach is V'higadita lebincha, and you will tell your children. Tell your children the stories. Have them know everything. Everything that happened to you and to your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, all the way back to Moshe Rabbeinu, Avram Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu, Yaakov Avinu. Have them know where they come from, where they connect to, in one way or another. It's so important, it's so deep. There's a very famous question of why does the Torah, our holiest book, the book of all of the mitzvot, of all of the commandments, of what we do, how to live your life, and it doesn't start from the mitzvahs. It starts from stories. And Rav Shlomo Carlebachs says, stories, that's what connects us. You need to understand the stories to understand why I'm doing the mitzvahs. What connects me to my people? What connects me to God? What connects me to the Torah? So first we start with stories. We start with stories of creation, story of Noach and the Mabul, story of Avram fighting against all odds, Yitzchak with his immense bravery, and Yaakov sticking with the truth till the end. The 12 tribes and everything they go through. And only then we can start our story as a nation in Egypt. And once we leave Egypt, now we're ready for mitzvahs. Now we're ready for understanding our connection with God. I want to share a song from Rav Shlomo Carlebachs, Hilula Tovatcha. It's a song from Tehillim. Tehillim, the book of Psalms, is written by David HaMelech, King David, a tremendous musician and composer, and he writes down all of these songs in Tehillim. Each one is a different tune. Each one has its own melody. And we've lost them. We've lost a lot of these tunes. We don't have them today. We don't know them. So Rav Shlomo Carlebachs put different tunes to a lot of them. This song saying how precious the Torah is to us, don't know what we would do without it. Lulei Toratcha Shashuai Az Avadeti So each song connects us. We have songs that connect us to prayers. We have songs that connect us to Torah. We have songs that connect us to each other. We have songs that are blessings. We have songs that they are prayers. We have songs that are just nice. Second thing, besides song, Rav Shlomo Carlebachs is famous for, we said, was stories. This perhaps is my favorite story from Rav Shlomo Carlebachs, and I would like to share it with you. You never know. Go the city of Krakow, outside of the cemetery, where so many great people are buried, there's a tree. And underneath that tree, there's a single grave. And on that grave it says, "Here lies Yosale, the holy miser." A few hundred years ago, in the city of Krakow, there lived a very wealthy man named Yosale. But Yosale wouldn't give anything ever to anyone. Yosale was ostracized from his community. They wouldn't give him an aliyah to the Torah when he came to shul. When he walked in the street, the kids would spit at him and throw stuff at him. And everybody would say, "There goes Yosale, Yosale, Yosale the miser." One day Yosale gets sick, and the Chevra Kadisha, the holy people who come to bury you at the end of your time, come to Yosale and say, "Yosale, for every person we charge 50 rubles to bury them in the cemetery. But you haven't given anything your entire life. If you would like us to bury you, you will have to give us 1,000 rubles." He says, "I'm not giving more than 50. He says, "Yosale, if you don't give 1,000 rubles, we're not going to bury you. Haven't given anything your entire life. You can't take your money with you. 1,000 rubles, we're not burying you." He says, "I don't need you. I've done everything in my life by myself. I'll bury myself too. I'll be okay." They leave. Yosef closes his eyes. Says, "Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad." Takes his final breath. Passes on. This is on Sunday. Monday, no one comes to bury him. Tuesday, no one goes to bury him. Wednesday, the middle of the night, one of the neighbors goes into the house, takes Yosale out, takes a shovel. Wicked people, we don't bury them inside the cemetery. They're buried outside. Especially back then, to be buried outside of the cemetery. Biggest disgrace there is. Yosale can't be buried in the cemetery. His neighbor digs a hole underneath a tree outside of the cemetery. Buries Yosale, puts a piece of wood on top of it, and writes, "Hey Nun Ponitman, here lies Yosale." Thursday morning, Thursday night, Friday morning. Friday morning, there's a knock on the door. The rabbi from Krakow gets a knock on the door, opens it up. Who's standing there? Avramo. Says, "Avramo, how can I help you?" He says, "Rabbi, I'm so sorry. I know it's Erev Shabbos. I don't have money to feed my family. I need tzedakah. The rabbi says, of course, Ephraim, how much do you need? He says, I need 4 ruble. The rabbi takes out 4 ruble, gives it to Ephraim. He says, have a good Shabbos. A few minutes later, another knock on the door. It's Yitzchak. Knocks on the door, says, Yitzchak, how can I help you? He says, Rabbi, I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm sure you have 1,000 things there of Shabbos. I need money for Shabbos. He says, how much do you need? He says, I need 3 rubles. The rabbi gives him 3 rubles. There's no problem. But mind if I ask, because this already happened twice, where were you last week? Where were you the week beforehand? Yitzchak tells them the story that every Friday morning he wakes up and there's an envelope underneath his door. It says L'chaved Shabbos, and in it there's 3 rubles. He says, I've never needed. A few minutes later, the next knock on the door, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And everybody has the same story. This one is 3 rubles, this one is 6, this one is 8. And everybody has the same story of the envelopes, the Chavod Shabbos, Friday morning under the door. The more people come, the more the rabbi starts asking and asking and asking. He starts putting one and one together, and he asks them, have you ever gone to Yosele? They say, who, Yosele? Yosele the miser? At every point, in a point of every beggar's life, they once said, maybe Yosele's heart will open up for me. I gotta go try, I'll go knock on his door. And I would knock on his door, and Yosele would stand there and say, my friend, how can I help you? He says, Yosele, I'm having trouble. Business isn't good now, and I need help. And Yosele would say, of course, my friend, come on in. Have a seat, have something to eat. How much would you need to survive a week? I would say, I need 5 ruble a week. If I had 5 ruble a week, I could feed my family, and everything would be good. And Yosele would sit there with me and listen to my story and really cry for my pain and sit and we talk for a long hour. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Yosele would suddenly get very, very intense, like he went crazy. And Yosele would get up, and he grabbed me by the shirt. He says, you think I'm going to give you my money? You want money? Go work for it. And Yosele was a strong man. He was very scary. Picked him up, throws him out onto the street. And every poor man says, I don't know what I was thinking, that Yosele, this biggest miser, the biggest kamsan in the world, he's going to give me money. What's so special about me? And then, on Friday morning, I opened up my door, and underneath the door, there was an envelope. It said, L'chaved Shabbos. Never made the connection after such a violent exit. I never made the connection that it could have possibly been from Yosele. No one really talks about their tzedakah problems. I could not imagine that Yosele was doing this for everyone. The rabbi turns pale, falls down on the floor and says, I cannot believe it. I had such a special person in our community this whole time. Not only did we not give him the respect he needs, we spat on him, we disrespected him. Such a holy person, how could we have possibly done that? You can't fast on Shabbat. The rabbi announces, on Sunday, it's a fast. Everybody comes to the show and is going to fast. They start the prayers screaming, Yosale, Yosale from Krakow, please forgive us for everything that we've done to you. Please have mercy on us. Please understand we do not know that you were sustaining the whole community. Please forgive us. Mincha time comes around and the rabbi feels nothing. He says, I can't feel like we're not getting through to him in the next world. Really need to open our hearts and cry out for forgiveness for the damage we've done to this person for his whole life, this big tzaddik, and everything that he's done and what we've done to him. The rabbi opens up the Aron Kodesh and he screams, Yosale! Yosale, please forgive us. Ribono Shel Olam, please have Rachmanos on us for disrespecting such a big tzaddik like that. With those words, the rabbi passes out. And in his dream, he sees Yosale. And Yosale is dressed like an angel, all in white. He says, Yosale, please forgive us. Forgive us for everything. We didn't even bury you. Biggest disgrace ever. Not to bury a Jew. Not to bury a tzaddik. Not to bury a good person. No one came to your funeral. He says, Rabbi, it's exactly how I wanted it to be.